Hi and welcome. So we're going to do a real life flight, Jetstar 267, taking off from Auckland, New Zealand, gate 20 to Wellington, New Zealand. And we're going to be taking off around about the same time in game as well. So we're leaving at about 7:25 and we're getting to Wellington around 8:30. We're leaving from gate 20, and this is gate 20 in the game at the moment. So if we have a little look, we can do a walk around, and we can also run by quickly sprinting a little bit quicker. We can hit the delete key and then we can sort of see ourselves. So let's have a quick look at our plane. Here is our plane today. And quickly run around the Jetstar aircraft. Now, a lot of people don't want to start the game in the exterior view, and I completely agree with all of you that it should always start in the cockpit, and then if you want to go to the outside, you can go to the outside, but it shouldn't just start in the outside view and then you have to go into the cockpit every time. But anyway, that's the Jetstar plane. So let's jump inside, left shift and C, and we're in the cockpit. We'll do a quick start up. So what we'll do is we'll jump over to here. I'm going to turn on battery 1, battery 2, clicking here on external power, going down to here and clicking on master S switch for the APU, and then clicking on start. I'm going to turn on the strobe and the beacon, and then I'm also going to whack on the APU bleed. I'm going to go up to here, I'm going to click on all of these fuel pumps. I'm going to go down to here, click on the cruise supply and also on the ground control. And I really want to get this started up here. This is for our ADIRS, putting it to nav, and to nav. And then we'll just go over to here, we'll just turn up the cargo a little bit. And we'll also turn down our cockpit, forward cabin and our after cabin. So that's mostly everything. We can turn on our seatbelt sign, and we can put the no smoking sign to auto, and we can put the exit light to arm. We'll just do that so it's out of the way. When we're going down to here now in the center console, I'm just going to change this here, the PWS switch to auto. I'm just going over to here and changing this switch to TARA and switching this all the way over to on. Now we can look at it. This MCDU. So we're going to go into ATSU, and then we're going to go into AOC menu, and then we're going to click on flight init. And now we're in here. We'll click over here on this big button, init data required. We'll wait for a few seconds, we're just doing nothing. And then it's filled all that in for us. Then we click on init, and then we click on up here, init request. So we're just waiting for the init request to complete for me. It's done that. Now I'm just going to put in our flight number, which we have for today, which was Jetstar 267. So we'll put in something similar to that. So we'll put in JST 267. We're just putting that next to the flight number. Then we're also going to put in our cost index. We'll do 80. And then our cruise flight temperature. So we know it's probably going to be about 37,000, so we're going to put 370 in there, and it's filled that in for us. Next thing, just go into winds and click on wind request. Just wait once you've done that. And it's filled all that in for us. Go back to return. Just check on the IRS in it, and it's all filled in, so there's nothing to us to do there. So we can click on return. And then also we can get into the flight plan. So we'll go into the flight plan, NZAA we'll click on departure. Now we're going to click on 5R, and then we're going to go up on the switch to make it scroll down, and we're going to poly 2Q. So poly 2Q, clicking on that, and then just clicking on temporary insert here on the right. So then we're going to click on NZWN, the destination, and click on arrival. And then we're going to click on IRS 34. We'll go and have a look through this list. And we've got Trap 2C, so we're going to click on Trap 2C and then click Temporary Insert. And then we're just going to go through and get rid of any discontinuities. So there's one here, so we click clear, and then click on the discontinuity and click temporary insert, and then we'll keep going. We've got another one here, so we're going to click clear, click on that, click on temporary insert, and then just keep scrolling, and we're all the way down to Wellington. So that's the end of that. Then we can go up to performance, and then we've got all of this information here. So we want to get ourselves back to this sort of screen, and we can bring up our Fenix, click here to get the TAP import, dismiss, and then click on maps and balance. So I'm just going to click on load aircraft, click instant, dismiss, and then send to MCDU. And then also we want to go to out of here to departure preferences, bring this up, sync load sheet, calculate. It's got our speeds here for takeoff, and then we're just going to click on send to MCDU. It's green, so it's sent it. And so if we go down to here, you'll notice it's all filled in now. All of our speeds, they're all done. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. And that's mostly everything we need to do. What we can do now is get the engines started and also get the pushback happening. So if we go back to this, I'm just going to the Fenix page and click on ground services. We just want to get rid of the chocks and the GPU. The engine's not started, so the aircraft won't move anywhere. This is just the base, the 320, not the 321 or 319. This is just the 320. So we got this into ignition, and then some other things. We can turn the two packs off, and the APU bleed is on. So we'll get this started with the pushback. So I'm just going to click here and then click start. It's just doing a straight back apparently. And then we're going to take our parking brake off, and we should start moving eventually. We certainly won't move forward anyway. Just down here, the ground spoiler just needs to be arms, just so it's upwards. That's all, just as long as it's upwards. And apparently you need to put this onto max auto brakes. Not sure. Can't do that at the moment anyway. It says ground spoiler's armed over there. We're getting pushed back today. Cool. It's quite rainy outside. Not sure how this is going to go. We'll have a little look outside quickly. There goes my plane. Not sure where he's pushing me, but we'll jump back inside and tell him to stop. Alright, so we'll... Oh, he's almost finishing. Cool. All done. So we can put the parking brake on now. And then we can start our engine. So we'll start engine 2. And we'll just look up here and we should start to see some movement. Yep, 17. So that's cool. That's starting. Not too much else for me to worry about up here. Just lights really, but I'm not getting too concerned about that on this trip. But you could get your lights like perfect. I don't have any domes on or anything like that at the moment. I don't mind turning on these lights at the very back. You might notice these ones. There we go. Just lightly. You can check the weather for that. But I'm more concerned about our destination. So if we click in Wellington and then click on weather, we can see it's 1022. So 1022 I'll just put in there. I've got that done already. And if you need to get it to standard, you're just clicking on the up arrow in theory. There you go, standard, and then back to normal, 1022. We did that at 10,000 or so. The only other thing to do, I'm just going to put in like 37,000 on this. We will just hit it and pretty much go down again because this is a very short flight, but still. Change this to VH-2. So they're all changed and that's all set up. Oh, the alignment wasn't finished before we started moving. So I don't know if you can reset that by doing this. Let's have a look, shall we? Looks like it's happy now. If you have that problem, perhaps you can try that. So then we're just going to turn on the other engine. This one has started on the right, and we're just doing the one on the left. And we're also resetting our ADIRS, our GPS stuff. We'll see if that works. Just waiting for that engine to start up. You can hear it just rumbling in the background. I put the volume of the game at about 20%, so it's not super loud, but it is there. This is on max. We've got a few of these company messages. You can go into ARC menu, receive messages. Here's your load sheets. Then you just click accept. 123 plus 6 or something. The only weird thing is, of course, if you go back here and then look, there doesn't look like as many passengers. But we'll ignore that. So anyway, there's that. Flaps, we'll just put it to 1. And that's all ready to go. So just wondering if I can get a timer for the GPS or if it's happy now. Possibly it's happy now. We've got a plan. So we can move along. Alrighty then. We can take that parking brake off and we'll head out that way and get ourselves moving towards the runway. Not many other planes flying today, just us it looks like. Alrighty, so let's get the parking brake off. Aircraft should start moving eventually. Yeah, but just very gently moving, but that's okay. We can give it a little bit of throttle if we need to encourage it along. Both the engines seem okay at the moment. Have a little look outside. Wonder if you can run faster than you're playing. Has anyone tried this in Microsoft Flight Simulator? There we go. There's our plane. We can run alongside it. Just trying to keep up here, but the run command's not quite as fast. Alrighty. Come back to the plane. You can turn up these little dome lights underneath. I don't think they're helping much. But anyway, you can turn them up. If there's an air traffic coming our way, I can't really do much about it on this trip because I'm going to take off from that runway. We'll just have to see. You can put these on, but they sound really squeechy, like, you know. But you can actually see the raindrops on the glass, which is very cool. So, but outside of that, they don't do a lot. You're unlikely to use them really in the sim. Cabin check. That's the only thing I'm not sure about here. I'm not sure what else it wants for cabin. We'll think about that in a moment. Awesome little ground sounds as we go along the ground here. I haven't flown this very much at all, so I'm just seeing how I go. We're rocketing along. Does it show ground speed anywhere? Because I don't see ground speed anywhere. Oh, here, maybe ground speed 34. Yep. That's useful. Just bring that all the way back. Cabin is ready now, so I didn't do anything then. The cabin's finally got ready, so that's cool. We can go down to here and just click that button. They gave me the beep. Perhaps you could click one of these buttons, like it could be something you could do. Alright, so now you can talk to ATC and let them know that you're holding short if you haven't been cleared already. But we just have this takeoff config. Now apparently if everything's working, it just doesn't need to be there, but it is there. So we're going to turn off the APU bleed. We're going to turn off the APU. We'll click on this. Let's wait this off. And then these two packs are off at the moment, but we'll turn them on when we get up into the sky. And that's about it. So we've still got it on takeoff test. So if you know how to get rid of takeoff config test, let me know. But apparently if you've done everything above correct, this should disappear. That's all I know at the moment. Quickly go into this and just see if there's anything new. There was this other load sheet. So there was just 2 load sheets. And there's a third one of some sort that's supposed to come. I'll just put this back to norm. And we'll get off and into the sky, I think. So let's see how this goes. Just give the plane a little bit of throttle. I do have brakes on my rudder pedals at the moment, and I'm using rudder pedals a little bit. I've also got a console controller, Thrustmaster, Warthog, joystick and throttle. And then of course a keyboard and mouse. I'm using a Steel Series keyboard and a Glorious mouse at the moment. But that changes often depending on what I want to use. Alright, so we're out onto the runway. We'll just stop here. Give it some throttle. Just holding the wheel brakes, just seeing if the engines rise. The engines have risen, they look okay. And then we're just releasing that, putting it to this here. What is it called? FLX MCT. Anyway, we need to keep straight on the runway now. So going down the runway, and we should be able to lift off at about 150, so that's 140 and 150, so we can lift off now. Let's see if we can lift off. What that roar of a sound. Okay, gear up. It doesn't like me doing the gear up. It says the gear needs to be down, but I'm pretty certain I need to have the gear up at the moment. So we'll ignore that. There we go, the gear is up. The plane's looking pretty good. And there's the runway. Gosh, it's noisy outside. Alright, so now we want to put this flaps up if I can. Flaps are up, and I'll deactivate the spoiler. Seatbelts and no smoking signs. So you can run around again. Take off. There's no smoking sign to auto, and that's gone. Ignition for some reason. I don't know why we have ignition. Does it need to be on ignition? I'm going to leave it on norm. And then we can click over here on the autopilot button, which absolutely isn't working right now. What we will do is we'll go down to here, put this back to climb. So that's on climb, and then click on autopilot. Nope. We've got no warnings. And what do we have down here? Climb, managed, and so forth. Can we zoom in on this a little bit? If we go to flight plan. Try and level it out a little bit. That looks a little bit better. The speed is going up now. Now what happens if we hit autopilot? Yep, it works now. So the angle we had or something, it just wasn't happy with. But it's going to go head towards where we need to go now. So I did say I was going to turn these on. So I'll turn on pack 1 and pack 2. Yep, they're done. And then that's out of the way. And then we've got to get this fixed because it's not showing where we're going at the moment. Let's have a look. We keep scrolling through here. Looks like it's jumping now. There we go. So we just need to turn right a little bit and then we can get ourselves to the MRAG and then right again to Polis and so forth. Just playing still in experimental mode, but I think even for me, I'm also in experimental mode, not just a module. So I'm just trying out this plane and seeing how I go. So altitude is on 37,000, that's okay. Optional climb mode, that's okay, we're in climb mode. Looks a lot sunnier up here. Gee, we haven't really looked at the scenery much. You do think you're looking at the scenery in these games, but when you are looking at all these screens and stuff, you don't end up looking outside that much. Especially during some of these phases. That's very cool. So this I don't need anymore. So I can just click on the little red dot down here, which gets rid of it. And then that's gone. Can get rid of that as well. And I can also get rid of the other one if I want. There we go. They're all gone now. So the aircraft seems to be going towards where we need to go, which is good. We've still got the autopilot on, auto throttle's on, flight director and flight director. Just click on constraints on that one. So it's crashing to 37,000. The QNH is at 1022. We're over 10,000, so we can change this to standard. So there we go, standard now. Here's all the other switches. I do believe it's getting later in the day, so we may have a bit of darker as we get towards Wellington, but we'll see how that goes. And then yeah, so nav baro reference discriminatory, baro reference X cross check. I believe we got something wrong in here. That's what it's not happy with, because as soon as I do that, yeah, it'll go. We'll just put it on standard again, see if we get the warning. So I do believe we put fuel in here. If we didn't, we're not going to get very far. There's our 5,000 or something left. 84 kilograms a minute. I have tried running out of fuel on this plane and I found it was not possible. So it just got down to like 70 kilograms and it just wouldn't go any lower. One engine ran out and then the other engine wouldn't run out. It would just go for hours. So I did notice that. Just quickly. But other than that, I really need to learn a little bit more about this aircraft. We're just seeing if we can get a flight down. Get from one place to another. Yeah, keeps coming up with that. So I don't know how that works, but maybe in here there's something. But I don't know. What we might do, just so we don't have the warning, is just leave it off standard. And I'll just put it on that, and then it's happy. Just flashing down here though now. When you put it on standard, does that stop flashing? Yeah, it stops flashing. So it's telling you to put it on standard, yeah, it comes up with that warning. And this is the same, 1022, 1022. So this is for Wellington. That's what it's set up as at the moment. Very interesting. But other than that, no other warnings. So that's good. And we're aware of that flashing. Altitude's not quite correct. Perfect. We can go have a look at our cockpit and cabin. Check out everyone. So can you run inside the plane? No. So the run outside command doesn't work inside the plane, which is interesting. Gosh. Pretty cool view. And if we continue down the cabin, we should get a view down here. One day. Here we go. No, that's no good. What about this one? It's a bit better. That's probably close to as good as it's going to get. And then this one. The edge of the screen there doesn't look too great, but I'm sure real life pilots look out the wing views as they fly. They go back into the cockpit and do this. That looks pretty cool. And let's have a little look behind the wing, if we can. Getting towards there. There we go. Gee, that wing is flexing a lot, isn't it? Not sure what our altitude is, but we should still be gaining an altitude at the moment. We'll just have a quick look on the other side. We're only a fair wave still from the back. Looks pretty good. And then I've saved that view, so in theory I can now jump back there. Almost. I'm finding it doesn't quite take you where you save it, so even if you save the view, it sort of doesn't quite send you there, but it gives you the general idea of the location. Anyway, we're back up here. So what else could we do at the moment? Well, we're going to get ready for landing. So if we really want to, we could put on our landing lights and all that stuff this time. And then wings on. Nose light we don't need. Runway turn off light, that's also not really needed at the moment. Turning this on way too early, of course. That's the dome, which is going to make no difference at this time of day. And that's all. Shift and 5 gives you the better view of everything. We can maybe move this back up to a bit more neutral. I don't know. We'll also turn that up a little bit. See if that makes any difference. So we're in the climb phase still. APU should be off. Yep, it's off. And that's all looking okay. The aircraft's just going along here. We've been able to hold the autopilot despite me not being able to turn it on at the start. It has held now that I've got it on, so that's good news. We can put on our timer for no reason. We can also turn on that. I just want to know if these lights are on underneath. They don't look very on. Well, anyway, that's on now. And these two, I don't actually know what they're doing yet. I haven't worked out what they're actually lighting up, whether they're these screens or something. But see, like it doesn't do anything. And also this one. It's very hard to work out what that is doing, so I need to look up those two. I'm just clicking on that, by the way. So if we move forward, we can get sort of a nose view. How's that for a view? We also want to see this stupid toolbar at the top disappear, because this is just in the wrong location. We're just cruising along here at the moment. I think you can flick these up. No, it's only the one in the top then. It's an awful color. And then there's this weird thing here which has no obvious use. What could this switch do? If we look around the cabin, there's a big light here, but it's not obvious what that does either. So there's that. We'll close this now. And then you've got all these here. Some of them you can pull out, obviously. Just a few random ones. These ones here are removable. Some of those. So yeah, some of them are functioning. Just checking where it's supposed to be turning at the moment. A too steep a path ahead. Okay. Well, there's no mountains, so there's that. We're coming up to Silvio here, which is top of cruise, and then we have top of descent. So they're quite close to each other. We're not up at the cruise level for very long at all. I guess it's saying to me we can't actually reach 37,000 on this short flight. It's telling me I got the landing lights on, and yes I do. I am curious, can you see them from the outside? You can. So they are on. Looks like they fold out. Plane looks pretty good. They just need a flyby camera. I don't know why it was so difficult to put a flyby camera into this game, but they still don't have it other than the record mode. But outside of record mode, there's no flyby camera. So we're quite high up, that's for sure. We've got all sorts of alarms going off while I was out there. Auto flaps, autopilot off. Well, that's nice. Just whack that autopilot button again as we try to work out what's wrong. What I might do is adjust this. So we'll make it 32,000 now. And we'll stop there. Seems a little bit more realistic for this flight. Because it's not going to make 37 for some reason. Flaps are all the way in and up. This is all the way up. I just want to get the right perspective, then we can pull it up and down. There we go, it's armed. You can see ground spoiler's armed. Auto brakes, I'll just put them on low because otherwise the plane stops way too quickly. We lose the fun factor of landing it. We just got 3 greens along the top here. So if you spent too much time outside your aircraft and not looking at the inside, you would have just lost your autopilot then. But yeah, we're still going along. Only 6 minutes since I set it off. Just leave it on the bleed area for the moment. So we're now coming up towards the top of cruise. The only thing is we changed it to 32,000. Seems to be following the path we need to go, so that's good. This is only a short 1 hour flight. You just see through to the ground down there. I know you can open this. there's nothing to click in it though. And then the only other thing you can click on is this for the rudder. And of course you can click on this to bring the tablet up or down. You can put it on the suction cup, or you can have it like this in the bracket. Doesn't make too much difference. That's your autopilot release, I believe, button there. I don't have that binded to anything, so at the moment I just got to click this to turn it off. But that's something I could do. So we're almost at Silvio. We can bring them in for a moment. And if we look at it from the outside, we should see this still out. Going along pretty nicely. Just turning lightly. So yeah, just testing out the Fenix. I'm not the best person to test it out because I haven't flown this very much, so just learning how to fly it. But bringing you along with me. Going from Auckland to Wellington on this flight. Just at 32,000. I think we've got a descent marker there. Outside temperature, -47. Just burning off that fuel rapidly at the moment. We had a company message, did we? Oh, yep. Going to this screen, this is our direct to our climb screen. Performance screen. The inlet screen. Data. Flight plan. Radio nav. And we've got 109.9 for the ILS there. Fuel prediction. Send ADC for 1174 minutes. See ADC delay card on company tablet and allocate as per OMB 243.3 and assign. Hope someone knows what that means. MECDU. Gives us those load sheet information. What would free text be? Send whatever you want. And then the airport's just closest to airports, I guess. See a little bit loud out the window there. So we'll begin to bring this down early. That should start the descent. Autoflight is on climb there. And we're slowly coming down. So we're just coming in closer towards our landing. I'm starting to make some of the final turns now. We really need to bleed this speed off, so I'm just going to pull this all the way out. But we're down at the altitude we need now, so there's not much more descending. Just watching with the levels off here. And it's slowing the descent rate just as we're coming up to 2000. That looks good. So now some other things. We can now begin to look at the flaps. Signs. The spoilers. Well, the spoilers are out, so they're more than armed. We can swap that with the flaps now. Bring those in and just arm it. Flaps are not on full yet. We'll bring the gear out now. Here we go. Pretty cool. Do the free flaps. And we're going to bring out the full flaps. Runway is down there. Nothing else is alive at the moment. Speed, alt, and nav. So we're just on autopilot. We're just watching to see if this comes alive. Looks like we're getting some glide slope information. Just under the glide slope. We've got no localizer information. Well, if we are, we're still way too right of it. So we're still waiting for that to get a bit closer. Speed's hovering around that 140. Full flaps, the gear down, that is armed. Okay, so everything seems to be ready down here now. Landing lights are on. I don't know about ignition. I might try putting this on. Then the APU bleed. And I don't know if you would turn the packs off for landing. But we can hit this button. In fact, none of them work at the moment. I'm not hearing any sound. Alright, it's spinning in. This one should come alive soon. We're still under the glide slope, which is the important part. We don't want to be above it right now. So our runway's down there. Here it is, it's coming in. So I'll try and just see if it centers a little bit. And then we'll hit the approach button. Okay, we've hit approach. Let's see what it can do. And autopilot 2 is also on. So that's all set up. Just got it on low. Yeah, we're doing automatic landing here at Wellington International Airport, New Zealand. It's bringing that altitude down for us and catching that glide slope, so that's good. Pretty cool module. Just slowly coming in there. Look at how it moves around in the sky. Pretty interesting. Anyway, we'll jump back inside. Hopefully we don't lose our autopilot. 1000 airpack 2 fault. Okay. Turn that off, and we'll turn that off. The packs are off now. That solves that problem. I don't know if it wants ignition there. But I don't know why. So I need to set up a turn autopilot button off.
500.
Gosh, it's windy. Insanely windy right now.
400.
It does appear we're flying into the wind.
300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
And welcome to Wellington. Just do a little bit of driving here, like the cars alongside us, and then we'll see if we can clean it up a little bit. There we go. So we can unarm that, bring all our flaps in. And this is on the APU. Maybe you could taxi with one engine, I'm not sure. Auto flap, autopilot off, auto throttle off. Yes, it is all off. I know that. jump in the cockpit and we'll get these engines off. And we should be okay because we've still got the APU bleed on. We can bring up this. Going to the Fenix, hit ground services. It will not use the jetway, I've noticed. So, not much for me to do there. If you click this however many times you want, it doesn't join. So, yeah, we can deboard. But just let me open a door and put on some stairs. And then we have some way of getting out. Awesome. The parking brakes on, engines off, and we just got the APU on. And if you wanted to, you could go up here and click on external power, turn the APU bleed off, turn this off, and then that's off as well. So it's just running on the battery now. Hit the master warning light a few more times. Well, we ain't taken off at the moment, so we ain't too worried about that. The lights definitely need to go off so we don't blind everyone. That's all of that, and the seatbelt signs. Off, 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 and off. That's in complete off mode, I think. And yeah, that's it. This can stay there. Thank you for joining me on my little flight today. If you have this error, the FCLTL side stick fault, all I found with that was I just got my joystick, put it in a circle, and then just after a while, about a minute, it just disappeared. So yeah, that's what I had with that. But apparently it has something to do with dead zones. But I haven't really changed it, and you can see it's not impacting me other than when I stop flying. It's the only time I'm seeing it, so yeah, I can largely ignore it, and then the error's not there for the whole flight. Pretty cool plane. Have a good day.